Hello again. I am here for part 2 of Chapter 3, Chapter 3's lecture, and I was talking about personality styles and the Myers-Briggs type indicator. There is a web address. It is on page 58. Of course, I can't see it right now. Yeah, 59 rather. In class, hopefully, we will be able to be in the lab next week, and I want you guys to, I'm going to have you do this in class, so don't worry about doing it, as an assignment, because I think you have plenty to do right now. We'll do this in class, but I'm still going to talk about it. We're going to take this personality, it's a personality test, a personality indicator, and let's see, it's an instrument probably. We're going to take that test. I do want to say there are no good or bad, right or wrong answers. Everyone is different, and whatever you discover about yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly, we need to think of it as a positive way instead of how to use our personality or what we know about our personality in a positive way in a classroom setting or in life in general. There is a chart at the top of page 59 as well that gives you some really good information once you find out what your personality style is. And I should have done this before I talked to you guys, taken the done the quiz or the instrument myself, but I have done others before, just not this particular one. But I will share with you guys when I do it what I learned about myself. I think I already know because I've done some things similar before, but I do want you to know that it is inappropriate and unethical and even illegal to use the MBTI, that's the Myers-Briggs type indicator, as a screening device to decide whether or not to hire an applicant for a job or to admit someone to an educational program. The purpose of using the MBTI is simply to help people identify satisfying career specialities for themselves. So it is something, the only purpose of this instrument is to help you learn how you, what things work best for you, your personality style. It's a little bit different from what I was talking about earlier with learning styles. But knowing both will certainly help you understand how you learn best, and your personality style will help you as you go through and interact with other people. Can you identify and adapt your personality styles to classroom situations? And again, this was a similar question when I was talking about learning styles. We do have two different things I'm talking about here. Learning styles and personality styles. Two different things. But in both situations, the idea is, or the question that we want to find out the answer to is, how can you take what you know about yourself, the way you learn, your personality style, and use that to adapt to the instructor the instructor that you have, the instructors. You're going to have more than one. This particular instrument, the MBTI, there are 4 different preferences and 2 possible choices, and 16 psychological types are possible, and all personality components have value in the learning process. All do. We are all different. You guys, you know that. I mean, that's something we learned way back. I know I taught that. Talked about how we were different when I taught kindergarten kids, and we sang a song about we're all special. But basically, the point there is that I want you to think about your personality, your learning style in a positive way, and how it can best help you in the classroom situation. There is another section. There's actually two, but I'm going to try to mention both of them quickly. In the middle, between the VARK inventory and the MBTI personality instrument, this section is about the theory of multiple intelligences. And since my background is in education, I have heard in much detail about this information. Dr. Howard Gardner I'm not sure if he still is. It says present tense, so I'm assuming he is still a professor at Harvard University. His theory is that all human beings have at least 8 different types of intelligences. Kind of makes you feel good to know that, because anyway, his work is controversial because it questions the traditional definition of intelligence. So that is on page 60, 61, and 62. You do not have to do that unless you want to, but it's just another way to find out information about yourself. It is important. If I had someone in this particular class that had a background that was in education like I do, I would probably talk a lot more about it, because it is relevant when you're working with students to see that there are, according to Dr. Gardner, more than one way to think about intelligence. And it helped me to understand as a teacher that not all people are good at math, for example. Not all people are good with numbers. Some people are better with words, English, for example, grammar. Anyway, that's something that I wanted to point out to you that is in the textbook. We do not have an assignment, but I did want to mention it. So I would like for you to at least know who Dr. Howard Gardner is, because he came up with a theory that there are multiple intelligences, and he has 8 different types of intelligences. There's the very last section in chapter 3 talks about learning disabilities. There again, my background, I've dealt with people with learning disabilities, both very gifted children and the children in special needs, as well as students in regular education. But a learning disability is a general term, and general means it covers a wide variety of specific learning problems resulting from neurological disorders that can make it difficult to acquire certain academic and social skills. And it varies from person to person. Some people, their learning disabilities manifest themselves different from others. It can show up with spoken and written language. It can show up with coordination, self-control, and attention. These learning difficulties can really hinder one's ability to read, write, and to do math. Cognitive disorders are the types of disorders that are related to mental task and processing. Dyslexia, you guys have probably heard that term before, is classified as a cognitive learning disability. And if you need any more information on dyslexia, I'll be glad to share it with you. Attention disorders affect the ability to focus and concentrate, and those disorders are usually ADD, attention deficit disorder, or ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactive disorder. And they are not classified as a learning disability. At the bottom of page 65, there are some suggestions for adults with attention deficit issues. Again, I've mentioned this before, probably way back in the beginning now. It seems like a long time ago. But we do have a person, Her name is Kay Morgan. She's on the Clarksville campus, and she is the person that we would talk to if you needed to have some accommodations to the class material. Like if you had a learning disability, for example, or if you had a problem that it hindered your learning, she would be the person that we would contact. And please let me know first, and we will talk about how we can make accommodations for students that need accommodations to the learning, to the classroom setting. I think that's all for Chapter 3 for now. Hopefully this helps. Please email me, text me, whatever. Prefer email, as you know, and ask questions. Try to respond to the discussion board. That's a very good place for us to ask questions, and that's one way that you can participate. I talked about participation in the classroom, even though it's in this online part, but it's still a part of participating. I hope you guys have a good week, and read carefully Chapter 3. It's great information, and we'll talk more next Monday, June 15th. Thanks. Bye.